Today I'm going to show you how to flatten land in Farthest Frontier. I have to say I think the current system is overly complex and could be made a lot better in future updates. So this video is correct at the time of recording for the system, but in the future there might be easier ways of doing it, in which case I will cover those too. However, let's have a look at how we do it in the here and now. So I've started a brand new town here and I've placed it near to this mountain you see here that's currently snow covered. As you probably know, if you try to place down buildings and the terrain isn't flat, then you're not actually able to place them down. This makes flattening land a reasonably important thing when it comes to expanding your town. So to flatten land, you can use the hotkey T, or you can just click down here and get the flatten terrain tool. Now the way that this works is in the area that you select for flattening, it will take an average of the height of each of the pieces of land. So my town is obviously down on this level that you're seeing right here, and then we very quickly get into the mountainous area where we're not able to build. So if I want to flatten this mountain here and get it all to the level of this town, here is what I need to do. First, I'm going to select an area like this that is at the level that I want to flatten to. So basically this is the flat level that I want to make this mountain flatten to. Now there is a maximum size you can go, so if you go too far you won't be able to do it. Now what I need to do is make sure that the vast majority of the land that I'm selecting is at the level that I want the land to be flattened to. We're going to start with this area that I've selected here. I'm going to hold this on screen so you can see it, and basically from counting from the top right square that is at the level of flatness, you can see that we go across about 3 squares that is all at the same level as the town. The 4th square, which is of course the 3rd from the top left if you like, seems to start to go up a little bit, and as do numbers 5 and 6. So hopefully this is just about going to be right. So I'm going to go ahead, select that area, I'm going to hit play on 3 times, then I'm going to select this build area and make it prioritized. Whether or not you prioritize is of course entirely up to you, but for the sake of this tutorial I'm going to try and get things done as quickly as I can. So as we speed through this building area, you can see the change has been made, and if I now go over here like this, you can see that it is a little flatter than it was before. If I really zoom in here, you can see that now there's a more harsh cliff right here, and that's because this is the land that we managed to flatten. Now essentially you're going to need to just keep repeating this process, so selecting most of the land at the flat level that you want it to be, and then a bit of land that is not at the flat level you want it to be. So let's try doing this work area right here, and we're just going to keep doing this, prioritizing each time, and eventually we will get through this mountain. So as we come to the end of this build project, I'm just going to hover over this and zoom in, and hopefully you'll see this in progress. So let's see, boom, you can see the terrain shift, there we go. Let's get the flatten tool up, and here we go, it is now much flatter. So gradually we're just getting this level down to where we want it to be. Now what happens if you want to raise your land and get it all at the same level as, for example, the top of this cliff? Well, the principle is the same. Let's press T and get our flatten tool up, and what we're going to try to do is build on top of this cliff. So we've got like this area up here that's all roughly the same height, so I'm going to go ahead and select a lot of that again, and then the areas that I want to raise, we're going to just select a couple of those. So we'll do this area right here. Now again, what you want is for most of the area that you've selected to be at the level that you're trying to get to, with only a little bit of the area not at the level that it currently needs to be. So here we go, they're almost finished on this. If we just wait here, then we should see that this area here will get raised a little, and yeah, there we go. So basically that is now a bit flatter. So all we did there was if we get this terrain tool out here, so basically this here is now basically flat with this, whereas before it was more like this. And again, you can keep repeating this process and raise as much land as you want, and as much land as you have the time and inclination to do so. Now what I'm going to do, because I'm a little bit bonkers, but also because I try to make a good tutorial, is I'm going to flatten this entire mountain to show you that it is possible. In doing this, I'm also going to time roughly how long it takes me to do so, so that you know how long it's going to take. It's worth mentioning that if we go ahead and select a bit of land here to flatten once again, let's go from say like here like this up to maybe there. So this guy here is working on this. If we go ahead and select this person, you'll see there that the occupation is down as a builder. So right now, if I open up my professions by pressing P, you can see that we have 3 out of possible 4 builders. Now for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to whack this up to like as many as I can have it. I mean, maybe like 15 is probably enough because we've only got 13 laborers, and I'm doing that just to speed through this tutorial as quickly as possible. But if you want to increase the speed at which your land is being flattened, then you just want to go ahead and add in more builders. So here we are 2 hours later, and as you can see, the flattening has occurred and it is a lot flatter now than it was. I will say this was incredibly tedious, and there are definitely better ways you can spend your time in this game than simply trying to flatten huge mountains. So until this is improved upon, which I'm hoping it will be in a future update of this game, I think unless you're just flattening a small area, I wouldn't go ahead and try to flatten down whole mountains. What we do have here now is an area where we can build on, mostly there's still some flattening that would need to be done to get it like perfect, as you can see. But for the sake of this video, I think I've made the point on how you flatten land, and obviously I'm just doing this for a tutorial. I'm not actually flattening this for like any purpose as such. So the best bet is still to build your town in a very flat area and give yourself plenty of room to expand before you encounter any significant hills like this. Other than that, it might be best to just flatten it in stages, and rather than trying to get the entire thing down to like the exact level of your town, you can just flatten like little bits of it so that you have like several different levels to the town perhaps. But that is how you flatten for now. If I've missed anything anything about flattening or has any questions, anything like that, please do let me know down in the comments, and I'll try to answer any questions. And if someone makes a comment about a load of flattening things that I've missed or anything like that, I'll be sure to pin it. So do check for the pinned comment as well. And if there's any tips there that you guys can benefit from, I'll be sure to mention those. I hope today's video helped, guys. If it did, please do consider liking and subscribing for more. But for now, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.